Hi. Hey.
The challengers, we're talking about the challengers.
Tashi, Duncan, just gonna turn a whole family into millionaires.
So welcome to Worth the Watch. Today we're gonna talk about The Challengers, a movie starring Zendaya and two other guys. A movie starring Zendaya, Michael Feist, and Josh O'Connor. I haven't seen anything with those other two guys in it, so I'm not gonna really talk about them. But you know, you got Zendaya. She's the lead actress in this movie, and she kind of really holds it down. And she really lets Michael Feist and Josh O'Connor shine because it's a love triangle, people. It's a love triangle, okay? It's a love triangle. It's about Zendaya's love triangle. I think she wanted this. But anyway, Tom Holland, are you okay? That's what I was thinking about the entire time. I shouldn't really be thinking about that. Is it Mike Feist? There's a scene in the movie where they're in a room. Zendaya is Tashi, Art is Mike Feist, and Josh O'Connor is Patrick. You have these three characters. The entire movie is about these three characters. These are the only three characters in the movie that are of any importance. Right at the beginning of the movie, Zendaya kind of sets the tone. All we're going to talk about in our relationship is tennis. If you want to talk about something that isn't tennis, then you're in the wrong relationship. I know we have a child together. You might want to talk about our child sometimes. But my child's going to play tennis. And that's all we're going to talk about. Zendaya's character is singularly focused, single-minded, focused on one thing, unilaterally focused on tennis, and that's it. There was, I hope that kind of tells you everything you need to know about her character. If you want to talk about, you know, Nadal or Djokovic and stuff like that, she'd be like, oh yeah, that shit was crazy. That got me going. If you want to talk to her about, hey, I'm not really feeling too well, my stomach hurts, I might need to skip out on dinner tonight, she'd be like, why are you even talking to me about that? I don't care about your health. Huh? I don't care about your health. I don't care about your feelings. You felt, this is Zendaya's character, you felt the need to talk to me about anything that wasn't tennis? I swear to God, that's all she is.
You think that tennis is about expressing yourself, doing your thing. You don't know what tennis is.
What is it?
After you finally see the relationship she has with Art, which is, you're gonna play tennis, I'm gonna manage you, and you're gonna win some fucking games. If you don't win these fucking games, I don't know if I'm gonna be with you.
Tell me it doesn't matter. Tell me it doesn't matter if I win tomorrow.
No.
That's Zendaya. That's Tashi. You don't start winning these fucking games if you're not a winner in the tennis world. Granted, Zendaya, her character, she got injured when she was in college. She was a top tennis prospect going into college. She was she was leagues above everybody else, and she gets injured. You know, like Derrick Rose, if you want to make that comparison. No, but Derrick Rose got injured in the league, and he made like he won MVP first. Zendaya's character was in college, and they're like, she's gonna be the best one day, and then she knew she was gonna be the best, and then something happened with her knee, unrepairable apparently, so her career is over, and somehow she transitions into managing her now husband in tennis. So, Art gets to the Challenger Series and he's like, fuck, Patrick's here. Zendaya, did you know Patrick was here? And at this point, Patrick and Art don't talk to each other, and you get a flashback. Whop! Whop, 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 whop. Yo, fuck it up. You get a flashback, and it kind of goes back to, do you get the flashback at that point? You go back 13 years when Patrick, Art, and Tashi were all about to graduate high school, I believe, and they're all about to say what they're gonna do for the rest of their lives. Art and Tashi are both going to Stanford because they're like, I want to make something of my life. And Patrick's like, hey, I play tennis now, and that's all I'm going to continue doing. So Patrick and Art are both eyeing Zendaya hard. I'm just going to say Zendaya. They're both eyeing her hard. They're like, they look at her across the room, and they both like squirm on over. And they start talking to her. They're like, hey, we saw your tennis match. It really got us going. Both of them. They're doing this. It really got us going. Could we possibly, go out with you? Like, and then she's like, both of you? And they're like, yeah, that's, you get both of us. So you're like, hold on a minute. Two guys don't want to share a woman like this. That doesn't happen normally. But I guess these are two open men who are gonna entertain the idea. So Tashi, Zendaya comes back to their crib, and they start talking. And for some reason, Patrick brings up Art jerking off like the first time. For some reason, he's like, "Yeah, I was there. We did it together." So you're like, "Oh, they're gay. They're gay. That makes sense." And Patrick's like, Art's all like, oh, why would you say this? Oh, so embarrassing. But we're in different beds, and we did it together. We're in different beds. So you're like, oh, okay, all right. I guess that's they're coming of age. They're in their adolescence, and that's how they discovered that they were gonna start jerking off together. And Tashi's all like, oh wow. She picks up on it. I can get both these boys. She's like, I can get both of them. That's what it felt like. So they're in this room, and the room has two separate beds. And the minute Zendaya sits on the bed, bop, the beds are connected. It's one big bed. So you're like, huh, what the hell? There's a whole middle section. Where did all that extra bed come from? And then, Patrick runs to the bed, Art runs to the bed, they start kissing up on her. And this is where you see that one creepy picture of Zendaya. Just looking like this. Oh yeah, she's looking at them. You know which one I'm talking about? And then she like leans on back, and then Art and Patrick are just macking on each other. And they think they're kissing Zendaya. I don't know if she played them or if they're like, I know what my boy's lips feel like, and I'm okay with it. That's what Patrick and Art were thinking. So for a solid 15 seconds, Patrick and Art making out, and Zendaya's just staring at them, give them that creepy look. And she's like, oh, all right, guys, time for me to go home. And they look at each other in the eye. They look at Zendaya, and Zendaya's gone. And they look at each other, and they're like, well, it's okay with me. Then I forget a few things. Some stuff happens. Fast forward. I think they do like a cut, and Tashi and Art are in college, but Tashi is dating Patrick, who's not in college. But at this point, I think Patrick's the better tennis player, and that's what Zendaya likes. She's like, you're the better tennis player. That's what I fuck with. You're pretty good at this game. Yada, yada, yada. So it cuts to the scene. Zendaya and Josh O'Connor's character they're in their dorm room, or they're in Tashi's dorm room. They're getting hot and heavy. And for some reason, Zendaya's character starts talking about tennis while they're like about to get it on. And he's all like, hey, you're really taking me out of it right now, talking about tennis while we're trying to get it on. How about we talk about something else? And she's like, fuck that. I'm talking to you about tennis. And that's all I'm going to talk to you about. She's like, I want to talk about tennis balls. And that's it. And you're like, what the fuck is wrong with her? And then she gets off him. She's like, I can't believe you don't want to talk about tennis. That's all I want to talk about. And she starts doing some like exercises in the room. And I'm putting myself in Josh O'Connor's character at this point. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? What's happening right now? We were getting it on. You want to talk about tennis? I think she wanted to talk about managing him at that point. Because I don't know why she's like, I got good thoughts. I have these thoughts in my head about how people should hit the ball and move from left to right and do some of that. I got thoughts about that, and I want to manage people. I think that's where it starts, where she's like, I have a career in this, and it's beyond just playing it, but I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be the best around. No one's going to ever take me down. And then, babe, she ain't no Rocky. You ain't going the distance. I seen Balboa versus Creed. He went the distance. But Tashi, they have a fight, and essentially at this time they're in a little squabble, and it goes back to another scene with Tashi's character and Art, and Art and Patrick are still friends at this time, close friends. They just got finished making out, and Art's all like, "Hey, Tashi, I know this isn't the best thing to say about my best friend, but he don't love you. He don't love you like I do." And she's all like, did I ever ask him to love me? Or something like that. Did I ever say I loved him? And obviously you're thinking about it and you're like, all you fucking love is tennis, okay? Single-minded. I wonder if people really legit think that way. They give her character Kobe mentality. So this character is thinking, fuck everything else that isn't my single goal in life, which is to be the best at this sport. Fuck my family. Fuck my friends. She has a daughter. She's essentially saying, hey, fuck my daughter. Don't care about her. Tennis. You don't even really get to see her daughter in this movie, because it's not about tennis. So anyway, she's like, I never even asked him to love me, and I didn't say I loved him either. She's like, how dare you? How dare you? Then she cuts, boom. She's playing tennis. She's got like a good match going on. And this is the scene.
He's not in love with you.
What makes you think I want someone to be in love with me?
It's nice to see you lit up about something, even if it's my girlfriend.
Leg goes snap. Zendaya goes down. She's like, I'm done. I can't play tennis anymore. So Art is watching at this point. Patrick and her are still in their squabble, so he didn't go to the game. Patrick texted Art, hey, me and Tashi had a fight. We're not really seeing eye to eye right now. I'm not coming to the game. And Art's all like, punk ass bitch. How dare you? I love this girl and you're not showing her the respect she needs. I'm gonna be there for her, okay? Send. Zendaya goes down. He runs to the field. He's like, I got you. I'm here with you. Holding her head. I got you. Patrick would have never been here for you. Only me. Only I would be here. That's what he's whispering into her ear. Only I would be here. And she's all like, oh, Art's here for me. He came to my tennis match. He loves tennis too. Oh my God, he loves tennis. I love tennis. I can love Art. And then she's in the hospital. Her leg's all wrapped up. She's like, oh, my leg. And then Patrick comes. He's like, I'm sorry. And then Art stands up for her. He's like, get the fuck out of here! You weren't here for her during the game! I like tennis, and I like Zendaya! And Patrick's all like, bitch, what the fuck? I thought you were my friend. You're supposed to be my buddy. You're supposed to be my buddy, and you're backstabbing me. And Patrick's all like, but I respect it. I respect it because I like you. That's what Patrick's thinking. He's like, Art, you're my real guy right here, okay? He's like, I liked Tashi, but I love you. I don't care what we go through. I love Patrick's character, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, he had so much. He was pretty fucked up, like in the head with the way him and Art and Tashi, the way that they all think about this entire love triangle. But the more I think about Patrick's character / Josh O'Connor, he was a real one, because he's fucking around with Tashi, and he knows he loves Art, because he's like, we jerked off together in separate beds. So then after that, it kind of cuts back and forth between them in the past and them in the future, because Patrick and Art they got their challenger match together. And then there's also like a midway scene that it keeps cutting to between the three of them, and like how their relationship keeps unfolding. Because it's not just all about Tashi. There's a lot about it that's going to be about Patrick and Art's relationship and how they really feel about each other. I think Patrick likes Art a lot more, and he comes on like, yeah, I'm big balls man over here. I do dumb shit. You're over here sensitive and don't know how to express what you want, but I want you. That's what Patrick's like. And they have a whole conversation in the steam room. He's got his dick out and everything. You're like, okay, it's a steam room. Okay, I guess. But I think Art was fully clothed. I might be misremembering that scene, but there's a bunch of them like that where Patrick's eating like phallic-shaped objects. He's eating a banana, eating way more of it than he needs to while he's having a conversation with another person. But yeah, that's just who he is. He's expressing himself. He's upfront. He's personal. And Art's not like that. The whole movie's just between Art, Tashi, Patrick, love triangle. The challengers were gonna be a love triangle. I'm gonna get into spoilers, actually. Spoilers. When Patrick first starts seeing Tashi, Art's like, hey, did you guys have sex? He's like, I'm not gonna talk to you about that. Maybe. He's like, all right, listen. If you guys had sex, just don't serve how you usually serve. Serve like me. Put the ball right here. This is your, like, right here in the middle of in the racket. So he's like, no, I'm not gonna tell you. Oh, I'm not gonna say that. And then he serves the ball and he puts it right there in that spot. Bop! And it cuts the scene. Fast forward, 13 years later, Patrick, Zendaya, Art versus Patrick in the Challenger series. They rewind it a little bit too, so you can kind of see how did Patrick and Tashi's relationship kind of develop throughout the years, and you realize that Tashi is still fucking with Patrick on the side of Art. This two-timing hoe. Like, she's like, Patrick. And this is how she's looking at Patrick. You think you can get Art back to the level that I want him to be at? He's like, yeah, I can do that. If you manage me. And she's like, I'm not fucking managing you. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not managing you. But then he's like, listen, scribble. Here's my number. If you ever change your mind, a wink, you could manage me. And she's like, I think I could get Art to play harder. She's like, the only thing that can get me is tennis. That's her whole persona. So the minute in Tashi's head, she thought, I could see a good ass tennis match right now. Because a good ass tennis match to Tashi is like porn. It's like the climax. It's like people fucking. That's why she won't. That's why she didn't fuck Patrick that one day. Because she was thinking about tennis and she was like, I gotta talk about tennis because it gets me off. So then she wouldn't fuck Patrick. And now she has the opportunity to set Patrick and Art up in a tennis match, and she can get off on that. That's Tasha's whole character. How can I get off on tennis? How can I climax? I want to see that shit. That's the whole thing. It's crazy. I think I'm liking this movie a little more because in the soundtrack, I think they had like house music vibes going on the entire time. What I didn't like about the movie was Tashi single-minded. I only care about tennis, and I'm not gonna talk to you about nothing else. I don't give a fuck. Unless you can get me off talking about tennis, I don't want to talk to you. It's just like, not only her character has like no development. Art and Patrick are the same from when they started 13 years ago, when the movie keeps flashing back to when they're in the Challenger series. If I'm trying to think about any character development, it's hard to, because I can't think about any of it. Patrick's character like stays the fucking same to a detriment to himself. That he's like, I don't give a fuck about anything else besides tennis. Maybe that's what Zendaya sees, and that's what she likes about him. And Art wasn't like that. Hold on, I'm realizing some shit with this. So Patrick's character didn't go to college, and he just went straight to try and be a professional tennis, but he does this stupid shit, and it wasn't like, you're like, what are you doing? So maybe that's what Zendaya's character really loved about Patrick from the get-go, but Patrick was more free will and liked Art, and I think she knew that Patrick liked Art, so she couldn't really be with him like that. Even though he likes tennis. So she's like, I'm just going to fuck around with him on the side. I'm going to use him for Art. But she had a whole kid with Art. It's kind of crazy. But anyway. I think that's the reason Zendaya's character kept coming back to Patrick. Because he really was liking tennis. But, not to the same level as Zendaya's character. But, like, he was up there. Like, here's tennis. Tashi, I love it. Or / Zendaya, love tennis. Patrick's like right here, and Art's like, it's a job. I don't want to really do this for. I'm like 34 now. I don't want to do this shit. That's what That's what Art's thinking. Then you go back to Art's character, who also I don't really see much like development from him, because early on you could tell like he's more timid or reserved. It doesn't have many moments where he stands up for himself, and he kind of lets like Patrick and Tashi just walk over him. Besides like one scene where he's all like, "Hey, Tashi, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna go through this French Open or something, this last tournament, and then I'm retiring." And then that's when Zendaya's like, "All right, I'm fucking with Patrick again because I gotta motivate your ass to be better." This is all part of some of the stuff I don't like, though. But now that I'm talking about it out loud, it's like pretty interesting. So the lack of character development from all three characters, I really wasn't a fan of. But having the character really stay the same and like stay single-minded and kind of like intertwine with all the other characters, the only other two characters. It's just like, okay, how can my character keep pulling and your character keep pulling? It's like a whole tug of war thing with the way they love tennis and love each other. It's the weirdest love triangle ever. It's like tennis and we're three people who love each other. I might be misremembering some stuff from the movie. If I didn't misremember anything, just let me know down below. But anyway, this is what happens near the end of the movie. So this is all spoilers anyway. I think Tashi's whole ass is all like, "Hey, I'll fuck you if you let Art win." And Patrick's like, That's my boy. I love him too. I'll do anything for him. So he's like, I can get some punane if I let my boy win. I'll do that shit. She said, how do I know you're telling the truth? You don't, cause I'm a big baller. That's what Patrick's like. He's like, you don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, okay? But I'm gonna do some shit. I'll live in my car. I'll play tennis. That's my character, and I love art. Patrick, he's serving the ball, and you're like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna let Art know he fucked his wife or his baby mama. He's gonna let him know. He does a few serves. Ha! Ha! And then he gets to one. He puts that ball up next to that racket. And then Art's all like, fuck you. Serves the ball. Goes right past him. And you're like, oh, he let him know. He let him know that he fucked her. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. And then Art's all like, you didn't do that shit. He's like upset. I can't believe it. You fucked my baby mama? I don't know if they're married. You fucked my wife? That's some evil shit. And Patrick's all like, but I love you. I love you more than she loves you. Like that's the message he's sending. I love you more. By playing tennis with this man. So then things finally start getting heated at this point. Bah, ha, ha. Tashi's like, ooh, ah, like Tashi's getting off on this, and then she goes like, come on, and that's supposed to be her climaxing, and then at the end, both the guys are like, spikes the ball, but they both like embrace each other and like they hug. And you're like, oh, they do love each other. They're still friends after 13 years, and this whole horrible love triangle going wrong. They still love each other. This is great. And then the movie ends. It's a movie about Patrick and Art and how they like low-key love each other. And Tashi's just all like, I'm gonna use this shit so I can get off. Cause I like this. I think I can get both of them. And I can see a good tennis match too. So now I start thinking about this movie, this shit was pretty interesting. Personally, on first watch, I don't think it's worth the watch. If you do something like this where you talk to yourself about the movie for over half an hour, then maybe it'll give you more reason to watch it again, because once it hits streaming services, I'll put it back on. I kind of want to see some situations again. It's not adding up. It's really not adding up. I'm not really putting the pieces together. I don't see how these 13 years go by and they don't change at all. I don't see that. Don't know. It's confusing to me. But maybe people don't change. Maybe that's the point of the movie that they're trying to make. Like, hey, this is Tashi. This is who she is. Mama mentality. Single-minded. Focused. I have one goal in mind, and that's to watch some good-ass tennis and get off by it. And Patrick's all like, listen, all I really care about is Art, and I don't care if it takes me 13 years to get back in his life. I'm going to do it because we were on that bed together. And then Art, I think he's had enough. I think Art is the character that I kind of like feel sorry for in this movie, because he's like, oh my god, I can't stand Patrick's bullshit. I can't stand Tashi talking about tennis. I have a daughter. He's like rich at this point. He has tennis accolades. He's like, I just want to settle down and, you know, kick my feet up. So I kind of sympathize with Art's character, and Tashi and Patrick are just two crazy motherfuckers. Like, very crazy. So, those are my thoughts on The Challenger. It's not The Challenger, is it? That's my thought on Challengers. the love triangle movie about tennis, starring Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, and Mike Faced, directed by Luca. Challengers, the Challengers. I'm done with the Challengers. We're done talking about it. If you liked it, or if you didn't like it, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have any movie recommendations for me. I wouldn't mind some, really. I got more stuff to talk about, but I'm going to talk about Fallout on the next video. Shogun, I have the last episode to finish on that, so I'm going to talk about that soon. I think that's it for right now. So, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you like the Challengers. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Would you watch it again? Do you think it was worth the watch? Do you? Signing off. Have a good one.